Hi guys, I want to talk to you today about area. That's something that we worked on a little bit at school before you left, but that I think we probably need a little help with so that we can review it. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is what a rectangle is. It's important that we know our shapes because that will help us find area of the shape. So what makes something a rectangle? Well, first of all, a rectangle has two sets of parallel sides. Let me show you what I mean by parallel. Parallel means that the lines are side by side. They go on and on forever. But these lines, I could continue them as long as I want to, but these lines will never touch. They will never cross. So these two lines are parallel. Bonus fact, you can mark parallel lines and show they're parallel like this. Those are parallel. Now, they don't have to go that direction. Parallel lines could go at a diagonal and never touch. They could be horizontal. So these are parallel. These are parallel. Okay. Let me show you an example of lines that aren't parallel. These lines are not parallel because they touch, they intersect. So a rectangle, first and foremost, has two sets of parallel lines. They go on and on forever, and they never touch. It also has 4 90-degree angles. A 90-degree angle is like this, or this, or this, or this. You can think of a 90-degree angle like an L. So this is smaller than 90 degrees. This is more than 90 degrees. 90 degrees is an L. And I remember it because it can make part of a square. A 90-degree angle, those lines can be two sides of a square. Okay, last thing a rectangle has is two sets of sides that are equal. So opposite sides are parallel and they're equal. So a rectangle could look like this. I know it's not perfect, but we'll pretend. Oh, that's really not perfect. Let me see if I can do a better job. Okay. This would be a rectangle. These two sides are parallel and equal. They're the same length. These two sides are parallel and equal. They're the same length. And we've got 4 of those 90-degree angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, kind of a fun fact for you. A rectangle is sometimes a square. Not always, but sometimes. Because look at a square. It meets all of our rules for being a rectangle. There's two sides that are opposite. Two opposite sides that are equal. Here and here, here and here. It has 4 of our 90-degree angles. And it has 2 sets of parallel sides. So a square is always a rectangle, but a rectangle is not always a square. Let's move on and let's start talking about area. So to find the area of a shape, you have to know the length of its sides. So we're going to call this 2 inches. And let's say that this one is 3 inches. And I want to know what is the area of the rectangle. Now remember, the area is the amount of space it takes up. So I like to think about area in the same way I think about tiles on the floor. How much space do the tiles take up? Okay. So 3 inches by 2 inches. How can I break this apart and figure out how many 1 inch by 1 inch squares would fit in this? Because that's what I really want to know. is how many square inches can fit inside this rectangle. I'm going to think about it. Let me get a darker marker so you can see a little bit better. I'm going to think about it like this. I'm going to mark my inch marks. So there's an inch, and there's an inch. Okay. This one's 2 inches. So 1 inch, 2 inch. Can you picture it like that? Okay. Now I'm going to cut my rectangle into those pieces. So can you see this is an inch, and an inch. Okay, this side is 2 inches long. So here's an inch, and here's an inch. And I'm going to cut it like this. So this is 3 inches. Sorry, rolling it closer to you so you can really see. 3 inches by 2 inches, and our area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 square inches. Remember, a square inch is nothing more than a square that is 1 inch by 1 inch. So I know that if something is 6 square inches, it can fit 6 squares inside that are 1 inch by 1 inch, and that helps me picture the size of that shape. Let's do one more together, and then I'll let you go and you can try one on your own, okay? Here we go. Now I'm going to draw my shape. Okay, this one's a little bit bigger, right? This one is 3 inches by 5 inches. That means it's 5 inches wide and 3 inches long. Okay, what's my first step to finding the area? I'm going to have to cut my shape apart, right? I'm going to have to build those 1 inch by 1 inch squares. So how many inch squares could fit across? Oh, I hope some of you are out there saying 5 inches across. Okay, you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little dark. Okay. Can you see how this is 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch? Okay, great. How many of them will fit down the side? 3, right? An inch. There's an inch. I know it's not perfect, but that's okay. Draw it across. Okay. Now we've got to figure out how many square inch tiles fit into this rectangle. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to count this by ones. Let's count by 3s together just to get some practice. Are you ready? 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15. I bet some of you are saying, there's another way to count that. There is another way to count that. What could we count by? We could count by 5. So we could count 5, 10, 15. Just like that. So the area equals 15 square inches. That's it. Simple as that. All right, guys. If you are still having trouble understanding how to find the area of a rectangle, that's okay. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to your teacher. We'd be happy to set up a Zoom with you and go back over area together or answer any questions you might have. If you're feeling comfortable, though, now's the time to go ahead and solve today's problems. They're in your AMI packet and they're ready for you to work. Can't wait to see what you do.